Good morning, Ellesmead. So this is Rose, our dog. She may start barking for food or to play with the ball or something like that, but let's hope she doesn't in this clip. Okay, so the aim of today's clips are to warm up our voice in a fun way so that we can really get into taking care of our voices, warming them up, ready to sing. And then we're going to move on to warm-ups that actually use the major and minor pentatonic scales, so we really get to know them vocally. Some of us play instruments, some of us don't, and we can really use our memory with singing these scales to help us to be able to make up some lyrics ourselves. So when we make up those lyrics, they're just going to be really short, maybe a sentence. It could be saying anything, and I'll guide you through that. And last of all, some of the riffs we learn with the minor pentatonic, warming down and up the voice, they are part of the backing vocal for a song, and we're going to learn the rest of the backing vocal part. We're going to listen to a bit of the clip. I'm going to share that clip with you, the whole of the clip as well. So ultimately, you'll be able to do part of the backing vocal part yourselves, and you'll be able to see how that fits in with the other singers and the other instruments in this clip. And I hope that you enjoy that. Good morning, Ellesmead. So in this clip I'm going to do a little bit of a vocal warm-up, quite a lot to do with our face, doing some exercises that stretch our muscles and then relax them. So let's start with a big face. So really big face, big eyes, big nose, big mouth, small mouth, small everything. Big and small. Now for you, you don't have to do this with anyone else looking, but for me, I have to make a bit of a fool of myself. Now we're going to imagine we have a huge bit of chewing gum, and we're going to chew it. But it gets caught and stuck in our teeth, so we're going to try to get it off. If it helps you imagine a bit of toffee instead, we're going to get it off the front of our teeth, all the way around the top and the bottom of our teeth, the backs of our teeth and the biting surface. And now we're going to do a stretch with our tongues. You don't have to try to do this any more than is uncomfortable. You don't want it to be uncomfortable. So again, I'm going to make a fool of myself. So we're stretching up towards our nose and then down towards our chin. You probably feel that after it, that you've had a good tongue stretch. And now we're going to do a tongue flick. We're going to use our index finger to flick at the same time, and somehow that helps our brain to realise what the tongue needs to do. Like this. So it's perhaps a little bit like a lizard or a parrot or something like that. Now we're going to do very light cough. Now if you've had a cough or you don't want to cough, that's fine. It's just to get the experience of our lower abdominal muscles tightening. Now if you put your hand on your lower abdominal muscles, so that's, I don't know, about 3 finger widths, these are our fingers, about 3 finger widths down from our belly button, around that area. And if you have your hand over that area, when you cough, see what happens, see how it feels. Now, what I'm feeling is it's tightening under that area where my hand is. Now, we play this game at school, you may remember, where we go, hey, ho, boing! Now, if you can try to be aware and to make that area tighten just before you do the hey, and before the ho, and the boing, you're going to get power from your singing. I don't want you to try to make this loud. It's a great game. I call it sometimes sound tennis, if you can play it with someone else in your family or a carer who's at home. And you send a sound to them. As soon as they hear it, they have to send it back. So it'll be a bit like this. Hey, 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 boing, 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 boing. And so on like that. You don't have to, when you send the sound to each other, you don't have to do the same sound. So if they do hey, you don't have to do hey. You could do ho, or you could do boing, and it can start on any note at all, not the ones I've given you. Whatever comes to mind, nothing is wrong, nothing is right. It's a free-for-all. Now the last exercise we're going to do is the busy bee hum. So it's as though there's a bee in the room. Zzz, we catch it in our mouths. And then we spit it out. Now when we do that spit out, we're tightening that area that we felt tighten when we did that little cough. And that all helps with our projection. So it's zzz, Now, before we do our warm down and our warm up with the major pentatonic scale, just want to say, go as low with this warm down as feels comfortable and go as high as feels comfortable. You don't have to strain anything. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, but you want it to feel comfortable. So you don't want it to feel like you're straining your throat in any way. Now, in the warm-up before, we were doing that cough and we were feeling with our hand to see that it felt like we had a tense area underneath our hand. So with this, if you're able to tense that area, the lower abdominal area, before you sing the particular bit of the warm down and the warm up, it will make it much easier. But I wouldn't expect you to be able to do that, okay? But let's start off. So the sound of our pentatonic scale is this. Do, re, mi, sol, la, so, mi, re, do. But we're going to do the rhythm like this. La, 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 la. And I think we'll actually do it to ah. Ah. And then we're going to go lower. Okay, so I'll do it. I'll sing it. And then I'll point to you. And I'll sing again, but I want you to join in with me. Okay. Ah, 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 And now we're going to go up the scale. Same thing, I sing it, point to myself, then I point to you. I sing it again, you join in with me. So again, just to reiterate, only do the sounds that feel comfortable, but however it sounds, even if your voice cracks or you don't really like the sound of it, that doesn't matter at all. It's just to have a go. And practicing that scale over and over, it's really good for warming down and warming up, but as importantly or more importantly, It also gets the major pentatonic notes into your mind and into your muscle memory and into the memory of your brain, so that you can fall back on that. And as you start to make things up, you'll find that you're able to use those notes. Some of us have our musical instruments that we've been learning. Some of us have not learnt an instrument yet. So having the voice to hand is something we all have. Now here's the sound of a minor pentatonic scale. It's using the same notes as the major one, but it's starting on a different note. So if our sound of our minor pentatonic is this, our major pentatonic would start here, and our minor starts here. So instead of starting on the do, it starts on the la.